Yeah.
Was this yesterday?
Friday. You didn't know about it either?
No.
Have you been online at all since Friday?
News and all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
The things I look at wouldn't show me news.
And why have you heard about it, Anchor Baby?
Because we weren't live.
Amazing.
The world hasn't heard. We weren't live.
So what do you think about the dummies that haven't heard it?
I think I would like to actually be less aware of what's happening.
Yes. Yeah.
Basically, try not to judge, try not to be angry. Those are not good ways to do that. Because as soon as I read all this stuff, my brain starts judging, I start getting angry and frustrated. And what good does that do?
Colin, did you hear about it?
What's that?
A second crash.
Yeah.
You knew it from Friday, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Small plane though.
Right, so it's fine.
It's fine. I mean, it's not like
Only 6 people dead, 9 wounded, and 7 dead.
But people die in small plane crashes.
Good morning, welcome to Fellowship. I'm Destiny Peterson. Thank you all so much for being with me. You can get involved by going to our YouTube chat line and Hake. You guys come on, these seats are reserved for you guys. Hey, these seats are reserved for first timers. Come on down. Any of these white ones. White seats for white people. Nick, make sure the heater is off. White people seats. Nice. No, are you a minority? You don't want to sit on the front row? What a beta. But anyway. We want everybody to come down so when people come in late, they won't. But you're fine. You're a minority. Minority don't have to follow rules. Hate will get to your questions, comment, and pass them on to me, all right? Good morning, y'all.
Good morning. Good morning.
How is everybody?
Good.
Any questions?
I had something happen.
Yes, sir.
This week on your radio show, I heard you say a lot about loving God with all your heart and soul and mind, and I know that the line is "and your neighbor as yourself" too. I've sometimes heard that. How do we do that if we can't love? If we have no love in us, how do we love God like that?
You love Him by seeking Him, wanting to know more and more from Him, wisdom. And so you practice staying present, and that's how you love. And it's not you're loving Him, He's loving, His love is coming through you. And when His love is coming through you, you're going to love Him. But you don't love, we don't have love. It's just a way of you saying you and the Father become one.
So by devoting yourself to being present,
Yes,
that's loving God as much as you can.
100%.
Okay.
Staying present. And people who are not present don't love God. They love evil. They love Satan. They may say they love God, but they're lying. And when they're crying, they're lying. So I wore my when she's crying, she's lying shirt to the gym. It was a mess. I didn't think anyone was going to react to that shirt. Do you guys know about this shirt? We have this new shirt out with a woman crying, and then it has me on it right behind her, and it says, when she's crying, she's lying. And the guys was all loving it. They're like, hey, that's true. Right on. And the women were like, you are a misogynist. You hate women. And one lady said to me, that is hate speech. I'm like, I thought, and she's supposed to be like a little conservative woman. And she's like, that's hate speech. And I'm like, how's that hate speech? And all her little conservatives just went out the window. It was a mess throughout the whole gym. Really, I was really surprised. I didn't even get that kind of reaction when I wore the shirt, never, ever, 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 but never tell a woman your problem. They didn't react, or racism doesn't exist. They didn't react to that in the way they reacted to this one. Isn't that a mess? So get your shirts. Well, anyway, go ahead.
Yes, and so how do you love your neighbor as yourself?
You're going to love them with God's love. Because when you love God, in you there's no anger, no hatred at all. So you're going to treat people in the same way you're being treated by God. You're not being judged by Him, you will not judge. You're going to naturally treat people. But with your human love, you can't help but treat your neighbor in an evil way. Your enemy, you don't even love your enemy because you have no understanding. When you love God, you have understanding. And understanding prevents you from judging. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Amazing.
Amazing.
I saw your hand, right? Yes, sir.
It's more of a comment. I had something happen this week where I had somebody ask me. Somebody asked me, like, oh, how do you make your wife obey you? And I was like, I don't think I do.
How do you make your wife obey you?
Yeah. So because they've been going through a lot of marital troubles, and one thing that I told them was like, I don't tell my wife anything. Like, I don't tell her what to do. I just do it myself, and she has to follow in what I do. Okay. And like, it just came to me, like, you're not supposed to tell people what to do. I don't know if I'm wrong. Maybe I could get your input on this. I was like, I told them, like, I work on myself, so by default, my wife has to do it too. And I think it's came for a full circle because before I would have judged them like, what a beta, like whatever it was. Right. But it's gone to the point where it's like there's nothing else, there's nothing better than to work on yourself, and by default, my wife has to do it because then if she doesn't see me doing something that I tell her to do, she's not going to do it. Maybe. So I don't know if that makes sense.
A little bit. When a man is right, he doesn't have to. And when a woman is right, she's going to obey her husband and she's going to love it. It won't be a big deal at all. It would not be a big deal. She would just love it because she'd be in her proper state of being, and she would love her husband and she would naturally obey him without being told to do it. So that's how you do it. Yes, sir. That's in your hand? No, okay. All right, amazing. I want to mention this, and then we get to the meeting. There was a crash, some of you already know, in Washington, D.C. on Thursday night or sometime. And then another one Friday night in Philadelphia, right? But what I noticed about the crashes is that right away the media bring the experts on. And they play the same thing over and over, the same crash over and over and over and over and over again. And they bring on different experts, and the experts don't know anything. Well, this what could have happened, or this may have happened. I'm like, and then that's bad enough. People sit and watch the same thing over and over and over again. I had a friend tell me when we finally talked on the phone, they're like, I've been watching this all day long. I'm like, but you hear the same thing and nobody knows what they're talking about because no one knows what really happened. Who watched the media over and over again when things like this happen? You do? And why do you watch it over and over and over again?
I'll watch it over and over looking for the truth in there. See if eventually something starts coming out that's more factual, more truthful.
But that doesn't come out until the next day or so.
I know it's a waste of my time mostly.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you realize you're sitting there watching people who don't know what happened, they have no information at all, and all they're doing is bringing in one expert after another one and showing the same crash over and over again? Do you like, what? Why am I sitting here? What an idiot.
Yeah, I do. I
and
do.
What, and you still sit there?
Yeah. Or I'll have it on in the background.
Wow.
But I don't do it all the time, but I definitely do that.
Right
Where I'll
on.
kind of stay with the story, and it's true. It's like what you're saying. The experts are just saying the
The
same.
experts have no clue
They're
of what happened.
They're all it's all guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why do, and I guess the media has to bring in people because they need to make money. So they need you watching the TV. But why are we the idiot? We sit and watch it. I don't do it, but the idiots who does it.
I'm one of those idiots. Sometimes, yeah.
Anyone else does it, but you're ashamed to say? You do it? That's in your head?
Yeah, I do it.
And why you sit there all day and watch the same thing over and over, and the media don't know what they're talking about?
It's fun. No, but
It's fun.
I
You must
have
have
it
a
on-
boring life, huh?
I have it on kind of as background too, and I regularly watch airplane crash movies anyways. There's a whole program, you know, they show this kind of stuff. Happens every day.
Boy, this is the same crash over and over again.
They're all the same.
They don't
All the
show
crashes
anything.
are the same.
And so you watch it for what reason?
I can see little things in it.
But you don't see nothing but the same thing.
I read a book over and over again. I watch movies over and over again. So I'm one of those people. You know, I'm not really smart. I watch it over.
Yeah, that's why he sit and watch the same one. He's like very smart. Yes, sir. Did you have your hand? No. Oh, how come I keep seeing your hand? Amazing. But people pay attention to that. You don't need to sit 24 hours a day and look at these dumb experts that don't know anything. All they're doing is guessing. That's all they're doing. And so don't waste your time watching that all day. Find out that it happened, and then go about your day, and then the next morning they have a little bit more information, and now you have some new information. But you can go about your day, all right? Amazing. So, will you pay attention to that?
Yeah, I'll wait till the next day more often.
Right.
I'll wait till it unfolds, develops.
Yeah. Because even right now, they still don't know exactly what happened
Yeah.
on either one.
I do that sometimes. A story will hit, and they have the experts on, like you're saying. They're all guessing.
All
and
they're
then
doing is
I'm just going to
guessing.
turn off. I know if I wait 3 or 4 days, they'll probably have more of the
Right.
really what happened.
And then a lot of times the media put out news, they come back and say, oh, that wasn't true. It wasn't 3, it was 8. It wasn't 2, 1. So you're never going to get the real deal right then. All right? Amazing. And then they say, oh, I'm so sorry for the family. They don't care. They don't feel sorry, but they lie. And then once their show is over, they go to get drunk. Why don't you stay sorry for the family? You know what I mean? But anyway, stop it. What's the theme for this year?
What's the theme for this year?
Yeah,
That's a good question.
we have a theme this year.
I don't know.
Amazing.
A theme.
Yes. Theme.
You tell me.
Is this your first time?
No, I've been here a couple years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did you know we had a theme for this year?
No, I didn't.
Really?
Yeah.
Amazing. I'll come back to you with
Come
that.
back to me.
What's the theme for this year?
To be present.
Nice. What a dummy. And have you been doing that so far?
I think so, yeah.
And tell us about it.
I have to correct myself every few minutes sometimes, but it's worth it. I mean, it's just practice. Rewiring the brain, kind of. So, yeah.
And tell me again, what have you discovered about yourself by doing it?
I guess, well, going back to what was said earlier, like being present, I think is my way of thanking God. Like this moment, like it's either or, there's no in between, no thoughts, just thanking God. So
Oh,
I guess
okay.
that's what helped me the most.
And do you like practice being present?
Yes.
Okay. It's helpful?
Yeah.
Right on. Amazing.
Yeah.
Nice. Any questions about anything?
I do have one question, I guess, that's like kind of like, so I haven't talked to my mom in 5 years.
Good.
Right. I've been saying I've forgiven her for like years, but I think only recently do I actually like have come fully to terms with it. Do I have to actually tell her?
Yes. God said, if you to go and forgive, and I will forgive you. He didn't say do it in your heart. That's a cowardly way out. Now, if she's dead, of course, you can't go to her. But if she's alive and you can possibly go to her either FaceTime or in person, you got to do it. And why haven't you done it?
I don't want a relationship at all. I mean, none of my family does. It's kind of weird. I don't know. My family is just my dad, my sister, and me. We don't have any other extended family. It's kind of just like none of us want to talk to my mom.
And why don't you want to talk to her?
Not to be extreme, but I don't think she has a good bone in her body. She's not
She's
willing
what?
to. She doesn't have a good bone in her body. She's not
Right.
willing to do the work.
No one has a good bone in their body.
Okay.
All people are
But
evil.
the controlling is like, it's none of my business. That's the only way. It's none of my business. So it's like,
But how will God forgive you if you don't forgive her?
if I don't say it,
Right. If you
Not
don't
write a
go and
letter.
forgive her.
well, that's just it. He won't.
Right. Can you FaceTime with her?
I don't. I can find a way through social media, through other people. I genuinely don't have any comfort, like any contact with her. She lives in Colorado.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So but you can find her if you wanted to.
I could.
I would recommend, do what you want, but
Yeah.
I would recommend you at least FaceTime with her.
Okay.
Find her
FaceTime.
FaceTime so that you can be shaking in your boots.
It would be better to do it in person.
Well, FaceTime is like person. You want to be looking at her.
Okay.
So if you can do a FaceTime, fine. In person is better, but FaceTime is as bad.
And it can leave it at that. Just I forgive you, because she's not gonna want to leave it at that.
Well, it doesn't matter what she wants.
Okay.
Let her stay in her hell. Let her be. If she denies it, fine. If she admits it, fine. If she cries, fine. If she doesn't, you don't need anything from her. You just need to forgive her. I've been wrong for resenting you, especially if you understand what's happening with you.
Yeah.
I've been wrong for holding this against you. I'm sorry, I was wrong.
Yeah.
And you don't have to play with her. You don't have to have anything to do with her at all.
Okay.
But forgive her.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, I can do it,
Oh, okay.
and I will.
Good.
Thanks.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Is this your first time?
It is.
What's your name?
Mary.
Mary. Okay, welcome, Mary.
Thanks.
But yeah, you got to face her. Are you doing the silent prayer?
I am.
Nice. Amazing. Anyone else doing the, what's the theme for this year, Colin?
To be present, we just said it.
And have you been doing that?
Yeah, I've been trying.
Tell me about it.
Well, it starts out with the silent prayer in the morning, and then during the day, I just watch my thoughts and feelings, and I'm focused on watching me.
And what have you discovered about you that you didn't know before? Or have you discovered anything?
Not that I haven't known before. Nothing that I haven't known before. I noticed yesterday when I go out, and because I've been kind of staying by myself for the last week or so, I noticed yesterday when I go out to out in public, I think I'm very holy before when I'm by myself, and then I go out and I'm just I see judgment and fear just go crazy. So I just watch it. Yeah.
Okay. Is it hard to stay present?
No, it's not. It's kind of like a muscle. I think that I've learned to work that muscle
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and especially when you start out your day with a silent prayer and you just kind of get in the mode and yeah, it's a lot easier.
Have you noticed how that you're no good?
Yeah,
Ain't nothing good about you?
it's hard to believe that there's nothing good about me.
Well, you better get busy.
Well, you know, I've heard you say that, and I'm open to that, to discovering that.
Right.
I've noticed that there is definitely parts of me that are, you know, have anger and fear and vindictiveness and judgment, and that's a part of me for sure. But you know,
Do you think there's one thing that's good about you?
I mean, I think good is relative.
What does that mean?
It means like
God
there.
don't come out no relative.
Well, there's levels of good, right? I mean, isn't there the person who thinks it's okay to murder and steal, and then there's somebody who does not think that's, or is not in them to do that. So I think there's levels.
So you think you have levels of good in you?
Yes.
And what level? And what is good in the third level?
I tend to want to tell the truth and to treat other people like I like to be treated. Not hurt anybody. These are things that these are part of my nature.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's level 3.
I'm just saying I hear and see things that people, and in my own experience, that people are not always like that.
Oh, okay. Amazing.
So it's hard to say that there's zero good in.
It's hard to say there's zero good in you.
Yeah.
How many levels you have?
I'm open to. I am open to discovering that there is zero good in me. I'm not saying that I am not. You know, when I watch my thoughts, none of them are really good.
Oh,
so
okay.
that's true.
Okay. Amazing. How do you respond to what Colin said?
I was thinking,
Repeat to me what he said, and then how do you respond to it?
okay, he said something along the lines that there's levels to being good, and
In him.
in him,
Okay.
and you talked about level 3, and that kind of distracted me from what he was saying.
Nick, turn the fan off for me.
That's all. Sorry, that's all I remember.
That's all you remember is level 3?
Level 3.
You don't remember anything else he said?
Like I was hearing, and then that was really funny, and then I started thinking about how funny that was.
Oh,
But something along the lines of when he's by himself, he feels like he's holy and good, but then when he goes out into the world, he sees that he's judging others and things like that.
do you have any good in you? Is there any good in you?
I don't really care. If there's good or bad, I don't know if this is a bad thing to say, but I don't really care about the question because I'm just trying to live day by day, and if something good comes out of that, great. If not, okay.
So is there any good in you?
I don't know. I really don't know.
You don't know if you have any good?
I don't know.
Amazing. Well, I'm here to tell you.
I don't.
You have no good in you. What is it like knowing that you're no good? There's nothing good about you.
It doesn't mean anything to me.
It
It's
doesn't?
just, no.
Oh, okay.
It's just, yeah, no. I don't want to hold on to anything. I'm just trying to live day by day, and I don't really think about if I'm doing something good or doing something bad.
Okay.
I just want to be free and
And the reason for this, we're going over this because you're fighting for your life, and this is serious, and the world is going crazy. And either you're going to be in the world in perfect peace, or you're going to be in the world catching hell. It's up to you. And you could be in this world with perfect peace, no matter what. And so this year, we're not going to play around. We're not going to play with evil. The young lady right there, is this your first time here? Take the mic for me. Your first time?
Yes.
And what's your name?
Debbie.
Debbie. She looks so nice, huh? Oh, God. Is there any good in you, Debbie?
But you just said there's not, so I'm going to go with that answer.
What do you think?
I guess from how I was raised, it's that the light of Christ is in each of us, and we are good-natured by our spirit being connected to God.
Speak up a little bit.
Inherently, we're good.
Is there anything good in you?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I want there to be.
And why?
Because I am a Christian and I would like
You're
to
a
follow
Christian?
those principles throughout my life. Yeah.
Did you say you're a Christian?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
Uh-oh. Take
Why
my-
George, Lord? Why George, Lord? And so is there any good in you?
Without Christ, no.
You
There's
what?
not. Without Christ, there's not.
And so you have Christ in you?
Hmm.
This is not a contest or anything. You have Christ in you?
I hope so.
Did you just become a Christian this morning?
No.
How long have you been a Christian?
I was born and raised that way.
Oh, okay. And so all your life, you don't know if you have Christ or not in you?
Well, I mean, I believe the light of Christ is in all of us. Christ
So what
lives
now?
in us. The kingdom of God is within us.
You
which
say
is,
what? Speak up for me.
I feel. I
black
mean,
and
the
slow.
kingdom of God is within us, so I feel like we're all inherently good.
And so do you believe that, you say you have Christ in you?
Mm-hmm.
You do? And how do you know and you might have it, but how do you know, for all these lost people, how do you know you have Christ in you?
I don't know. It's just faith.
It's just faith? What does that mean?
Faith is, I guess, a principle of action to follow the steps that Christ laid out for us in the Bible.
And do you have anger?
I do.
You have anger.
I do. That's not
And-
good.
You said what else?
That's not good.
Right. And why don't you get rid of your, how are you going to have Christ and anger in you? Because anger is of your father, the devil, and you can't serve but one God. How is it that you have Christ and God and Satan in you?
Yeah, how? I'm here to learn how.
How to what?
Yeah, how to have, like, why do we have that anger when
And
we're...
when you say we, are you talking about all the demons
Me?
inside of you?
Oh, my. Apparently.
When you say, I wonder why we have the demon. Why don't you drop your anger? You can drop it right now. Why don't you drop it?
Okay. Let's do that.
And why don't you do it?
I don't know. It's just there sometimes.
Have anyone ever told you that in order to be one with God, you got to overcome anger?
Mm-hmm.
And why haven't you dropped it?
I do not know.
Do you want to?
Yeah.
You got to forgive your mother.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
I would love to do that.
And why have you, being a Christian all your life, why haven't you forgiven your mother?
Yeah, I guess I got stuck on judgment of hypocrisy.
You got what?
I got stuck on judgment.
You got stuck on that judgment? Right, meaning you became angry. Have you heard that you should forgive your parents?
Absolutely.
And why have you gone and done that with your mother so you can be free? How would God forgive you if you don't forgive your mother?
Yeah, that's a good point. I will do that.
No, that's not a point. That's a
That's
question.
good. Yes, I don't know why I haven't.
Really?
Other than no one's called me out on it yet. So,
Oh, I see.
so let's do that.
Your friend have never told you got to drop your anger?
Oh, yeah, he has.
He's told you, right? And you say he has told you?
Mm-hmm.
And did he tell you need to forgive your mother and father?
Mm-mm.
He never told you that?
Mm-mm.
What a friend, huh? If you want to be free, you got to face your mother and forgive her. That's why, have you noticed you became like your mother?
In some ways, yeah.
And do you want to be like her?
No.
You got to forgive her. You become like what you hate.
Okay.
Do you disagree with that?
No, I don't disagree with that.
Are you nervous right now?
I mean, a little.
A little? And why are you nervous right now?
Just not knowing anyone here or you or just the newness of it, the unknown.
Oh, I see. Have you forgiven your father?
No.
So, but yet you think you're a Christian. What about that? What do you think about that?
That's hypocrisy. Yeah, I need to forgive.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry?
That's hypocrisy. I need to forgive. Yeah.
Are you hoping I hurry up and move on to someone else?
Yeah.
You are? Are you hoping I hurry up and move on to someone else?
That'd be great.
Okay, I need you to do me a favor.
Uh-huh.
So you feel a little nervous right now, right?
Yes.
Okay, do me a favor.
Yes.
Come up here.
Oh boy.
Oh, don't applaud her. Do you mind coming up?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, you could say no to black people. Look out there.
No pictures.
No, you're just on the camera around the world. And so look out there. You still feel nervous?
Yes.
And what does that feel like?
Just unsure, unknown.
Meaning what?
What does that mean? I don't know what to expect, and so I guess a natural fear to protect oneself comes up when you don't know what to expect.
Interesting. And so are you protecting yourself right now with fear?
I'm trying to, apparently.
You are?
Not very well.
Not very well. Are you still nervous?
A little, but I'm okay. I'm
Right.
coming up here because I want to be here.
Right on. And so you said you're protecting yourself with the fear, right? You're trying to protect yourself, right? Mm-hmm. And so who are you protecting?
Myself?
And who, when you say yourself, who are you talking about? Who are you?
That is the great question of life, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't
Speak
know.
up loud so you yell at me the way you yell at him. You're nice and humble with me. That's not your real talk. So who are you and that you're protecting?
I don't know.
And so who is protecting you? You said, I'm trying to protect me, right? Mm-hmm. Who is the I'm that you're talking about?
I don't know.
Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
And so if you don't know why you think you're trying to protect someone.
I don't know.
Amazing, huh?
It's instinctive, I guess. Yeah.
So you don't know who you are?
No, I don't.
Did you know before now you didn't know who you were? And what is it like discovering that you don't know who you are?
Well, that's a hard one to face, right?
Yeah, look out there too. So what now?
That's a hard one to face that we don't know ourselves.
And who you talking about? Who you said?
I don't know myself.
Oh.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So are you glad to know that you don't know who you are?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the reason I bring that up because there's no one there to protect. What's your first name?
Debbie.
There's no Debbie. There's no one there to protect. And in knowing that, you would know that fear is fake too. It doesn't exist. It's an illusion. And it's just in your mind.
Yeah.
It's not even real.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Fear, when you stop believing in fear, you'll be free. Because there's no one to protect.
I hear you.
You hear me? Can you give me some feedback on that?
Yeah. There's no one to protect, so fear is not real. It's an illusion.
Does that really make sense to you now?
It does.
It
Yeah.
helps?
It does. Yeah.
Does it help? I want to ask you the biblical question while you're here. Do you know we have a biblical question every week?
No.
Oh, have you heard my show at all?
I mean, little clips when we're driving around.
Oh, okay. And you like, what the?
I'm like,
Are you
sounds
your,
like a cool guy. Let's go see him.
you still think I'm cool?
I don't know. I'm second guessing myself.
Are you a memory worshiper?
Sometimes.
And what does that mean?
That means sometimes I feel like the past is better, or like I just like some nostalgia for easier times in the past.
Right. That's a good point. And where is the past?
It doesn't exist.
So why do you think it's better?
It's not.
Right.
That's just sometimes happens. Like he sometimes watches the news.
I know, all day long. Watch the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, that's the same thing as worshiping memories.
It is.
Doesn't. It's not real, and it can't affect the now.
That's right. And there's no past, no future either.
Right.
All right.
So we're gonna be present, like your theme for the
Are you
year.
going to practice being present?
I am.
All right. I want to encourage you to do. You know about my silent prayer?
No, I don't.
He didn't tell you about that either.
No.
What?
Holding out.
He's like totally working on himself and leaving you right in hell.
Right? He is.
Where's your love, huh?
Yeah. Where's the love?
Any questions about this or disagreement?
No questions or disagreement.
All right. I want to encourage you to stop believing thoughts so you can stop worshiping the devil.
Okay.
All thoughts are from evil. And forgive your mother and forgive your father for not protecting you from her.
Okay.
All right. You saying, okay, so are you cussing me out when you're in the car?
No.
This makes sense to you?
It does.
Wow, that's amazing. Any questions or anything about this?
What's the silent prayer?
We'll give it to you before you leave, but it shows you how to be still. And this is you, right? All your life you've been living in thought in your head, in your imagination. Thinking about the past or the future, worried, afraid, and all that, right? When we be still, God's going to bring you out of here, out of your thought, and He's going to show them, allow you to see them, and then they'll disappear. And you have a clear mind.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there'll be no past, no future, no worries or anything.
Okay.
right.
I like that.
Amazing. Any questions?
No questions.
Have you heard of the ankle baby?
No.
That's the ankle baby right there.
Hi.
He's been hiding from Trump all week. He has a radio show on my network, and so he's been doing his show underground somewhere.
Okay.
He's hiding from ICE.
When I get deported,
Isn't that amazing?
It's
And then
amazing.
that's the Hake, the white man that just went out. And we have another guy on Joel Friday. He black. He's not here. He's black. He's not here. Well, okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
So how do you feel about coming up?
Not nervous anymore.
It's gone, right? It's an illusion, not real.
is.
It really is. So you got to face things so you can see that fear is not real. It's an illusion.
Yes.
Amazing, huh?
Amazing.
Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Amazing. Nice. See her Rebecca. She gave that mic to the first stranger that came along. I know. Okay, the young lady in the red. That's hate right there. Did you do the homework, the biblical question this week?
No, I didn't.
Do you know what it is?
No.
Amazing. So I'll ask you about it anyway. You got to work on yourself. Or I'm only pointing you to the source that can help you, and He will help you. But you got to stay present, work on you. All right? Are you a memory worshiper?
Yes.
And you say yes? And why do you say yes?
I tend to bring my past to the present a lot
And why do you do it?
because Because I love my hair, like you say. And I realize that now, so I'm working on not doing that. You know, we just had a discussion about it today earlier, about that.
About
Me bringing the past towards the future.
Right.
I mean, towards the present now.
And why do you still love your hair?
Fear.
Of what?
I don't know, a fear of like, it's just fear. I'm not sure of what. I'm still figuring, I'm still trying to figure everything out.
So you have fear, but you don't know what you're afraid of?
Yeah.
Is that right? I can't hear you.
I have a fear of, I guess, not being good enough, of not,
Being good enough, and what else?
and just not being good enough, not being, just, I guess, worthy of, just, of, not being enough.
Being enough what?
Anything, like, just, I don't know how to explain it, like, it's just a fear of, like, of not being good enough, of not, of not being a good mother, of not being, just not being a good anything. But then you're saying that there's no good in.
No, you can hang that up.
Yeah.
You're no damn good. Ain't no good in you.
Mm-hmm.
How many people can relate to what you say you're not good enough? A fear of not being good enough. Oh, okay, good. Let me go here first, and I'll come around the room. I'm gonna come back to you about the not good enough thing. Remind me. I don't want to get away from that. You have this fear of not being good enough.
Yeah.
Good enough. What does that mean?
Like any position that I get into, like I think I wouldn't be good enough.
Speak up a little loud so they can hear you.
Okay, I think like any position that I would get, whether it's wife or a new position at work, like I always worry that I wouldn't be good enough for it.
Good enough. I don't know
Because I can see where it's going now, because I've never really thought about why, but I could see that it would be attached to my ego, because I'm thinking people are expecting a certain performance out of me, and that I might not reach that because I tend to half blank things.
But the people who are expecting that from you, they haven't reached it either.
I know. Yeah, I'm starting to realize that. But my whole life, just thinking that, if I get this, though, can I live up to what I think? So then I go back to playing God with myself and judging myself, and then thinking other people are holding me to that standard too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What a horrible way to live.
It really is. It's enslaving, because then it makes you like hesitant to go after certain things.
Did you drop all your morals and values yet? Remember I told everybody to drop all your morals and values. Have no more, have no
No,
value.
I haven't, but I didn't know why I even had them. And so, how I've been trying to figure out why I'm mad at my mom, because I was like, I'm not angry at her, but I did tell her maybe one of the things is because she did set a high standard for me that even she couldn't achieve.
Yeah.
So I've always felt like I'm almost disappointing my mom all the time without her even knowing it, even if I don't fess up to things I've done. So I realize now that I do need to drop them. It's a little hard. I don't really even know where to start with that. So, yeah.
I told you hated your mother.
Can't stand her. No, I'm just kidding. no, I love her.
Oh, no, I don't hate my mother. My mother, I have friends.
Well, I really have to figure it out. That's why I said I haven't forgiven her, because I'm trying to make a little list, make sure I get it all out,
Right on.
Yeah.
You're getting to know yourself.
Yeah, big time.
You hate her worse than what you can imagine.
I know. Yeah.
And she doesn't mind now because she understands.
She's so unfazed.
Yeah.
Look at her. She's just like so unfazed.
Amazing.
Don't you want to pay for this? And she's just like that. You have every right to feel that way. I'm just
Right
like,
on.
yeah.
She got to let you go.
She's got to cut me off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay. And
Wait. I want to answer the biblical question, though.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Are you a moral worshiper?
Moral or memory?
Are you a You black. Are you a memory worshiper?
So yes, I am, and
Me-
it was so nice to break down this question to figure out why, and it's because like right now I keep looking back to the past because I always think it's so much better in some ways, and then if it's not better, then I'm judging it that it was bad.
Yeah.
But then I realize it's like playing God again, judging that today sucks so bad that I need to go back to my memories when things were good
Yeah.
and thinking like I should have made a different decision. If I only did that, my life would be different and stuff like that. Instead of staying present and, present with God now.
Right on.
Yeah.
So you just started working on yourself. What is it like working on yourself? What does that feel like for you?
Lonely. Feels like alone, like I can't relate to people.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in like the same things like drinking and going out and like love going to concerts, but I'm kind of just good on that right now. So it's just different. I get hooked on watching your videos till like 1 a.m. at times because
Amazing.
I can, really see some stuff.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's freeing. Things that would normally really make me mad or just kind of like, it still makes me mad, but then I know that if I could take a break and do the silent prayer, I'll do that, or I'll just remember that I'm not thinking those things.
Right on.
So it's pretty cool.
Stay with it, stay with it, stay with it.
I literally say that all day long. Stay with it, stay with it, stay
Right
with it.
on.
Yeah.
Amazing. Nice.
I'm not totally changed though, I still have a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
of things
Oh,
to
I
do.
know. But at least you're working on it.
Yeah.
You got some light.
Yeah.
A little light is better than no light.
Yeah.
Amazing. Nice. And right here, and the young lady, yeah. You said you are trying to be something? Is that what you said, right? Trying to be something? Oh, you're not good enough. Remind me, you're not good enough. You raise your hand. You feel like you're not good enough?
At times, yes, I do.
And what good enough, what does that mean to you?
Good enough is in like, getting the job or like aiming for something that I know that I'm like working towards or that I want or that I just don't get it. Because sometimes, to give more context, when I like get auditions or when I get like new opportunities, I'm like, oh my gosh, I know I'm not going to book this. I'm going to give this to like an Asian or something. Like, I know it's not going to be me. I know I don't fit the specs. Like, I just know it. And I know that's such a terrible mindset to go into something.
Yeah.
It's terrible and it messes me up all the time because I'm like, I really could have gotten that had this thing just stays on my back of, there's no way you're going to get that.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I thought of you this week. And remember last time you said some guy embarrassed you?
Yes.
And how did that turn out?
So, when I left here, I really sat in what you said, and I'm like, I'm gonna take my hands off of this completely. Treated him very not bad, not good, just very normal.
Yeah.
And it didn't go terribly, but I don't know this for a fact, but it just kind of seemed like he had gotten other people, like, or talked about the situation with other people or
Right.
something like that. And I saw that, and I just didn't do anything. I didn't respond. I didn't get angry. I was just like, okay, I'll take a step back. You want to lead this project, and I just kind of let him lead it. And I put in my input of what I thought was what, and just left it at that.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Nice. You got to work on yourself.
Yeah.
Colin, what do you say about the people who don't feel good enough? What would your advice for them?
Well, me personally, I've not felt, in my past, not felt good enough, and I just have gone through it anyway. Specifically, like in business and things like that, where I feel like I'm not qualified. I just keep doing it and going forward step by step by step, and then you turn around one day and you're like, wow. I'm qualified for all that now. And then you find something else that you're not qualified at, and you just keep going and just keep pushing. And you're always kind of, at the edge of being incompetent, you know, in something. So I think that's a very normal place to be. And what the ego will tell you, what your mind will tell you. And I just, you know, that I just keep going forward every day.
Okay.
That's what I would say.
Amazing. Did you have your hand that you didn't feel good enough?
Yeah.
And what's that feeling for you?
I raise my hand because sometimes I try harder to do it better or do it right, and that seems like the same ethos.
And
Like
so
instead of just doing stuff, instead of just like doing my job, doing my work, sometimes I notice that I have these thoughts that like, oh, maybe you're not doing it good enough or right, or it should be done better, or this or that.
Good enough compared to other people?
Not really, no.
Good enough compared to whom?
No, not really compared to anything, which is kind of why I see that it's a silly thought, even though I still follow it sometimes.
So you don't feel good enough by yourself? So you're not...
Yeah, maybe.
Amazing. That sounds like craziness.
Like I can see that
At
it's
least,
crazy.
don't you supposed to like compare yourself to others so you don't feel good enough? Are you saying you're not feeling good enough to you?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
Right.
Oh. What do you say to those people that feel that way, Barry?
Well, I'll speak for myself that that not good enough, anything like that is identity. It's some identity. It's some other entity that's not me. It's not the person.
So you get that feeling sometimes of not feeling good enough?
No,
You
I don't
never
get
get
that.
that?
I used to have that.
Oh, okay.
I used to have that really strong. I don't have that anymore.
Okay.
I still get this thing that comes up, but it's like I got to do things right. Like have to do it perfect, or I have to do it right. And
Oh, you get that feeling sometimes?
sometimes that comes up for me still.
And what do you do when it happens? You try to get it right?
I just like acknowledge that's there. I'm like, what's that? What's that in my head?
Right.
And if I'm in a right mood, I laugh it off, or I just let it go.
Amazing.
Something like that.
You could relate to that?
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
In my early 20s, I had a big period of not feeling good enough, but I didn't know my values. I didn't have values. And so the men I was attracting didn't align with my values today. The people I befriended were not aligning with my values. But as I've gotten older, I think the thing that helped me the most was suffering. Suffering and chaos. I kind of know how to find my peace in chaos and kind of regulate myself and kind of solve my issue. And my values have changed, and waking up to what's going on in the world and what's going on in general, it changed my values drastically.
And
so I'm a different person
now. You have
now.
values now?
Yeah.
And what are your values?
Just the kind of people I want to surround myself with, fundamental values politically. Since high school, I was an anti-feminist. I was a conservative at one point. I was a liberal at one point, then I became conservative, and then I realized that conservatives aren't conserving anything.
Right.
So I can't even align with them, so I'm on the nationalist side, and wanting to preserve the white race and just the basics that should be preserved.
You want to preserve the white race?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
We have to.
We got a Klanswoman
We
here.
have to. Not Klan, definitely not Klan, because that's liberal or far left.
Well, you say you were anti-feminist at one time?
Since high school.
What's anti-feminist?
I'm not pro-feminist.
Oh, you're not for the feminist
Not for it
people.
at all.
Oh, you were
Yeah.
anti them.
Well, there was a kind of a period when I was a conservative that I was starting to go toward it because I'm like, oh, Iran, women don't have rights in Iran, but now I don't care. It's not my problem anymore. I don't
right.
care. You know,
Right on.
I think that the problem also is with the lack of feeling confident is these values are kind of pushed on us from an early age, and you go into the public school system and you're supposed to be a victim because you're a particular group identity, and it's all a mess.
Amazing.
And I honestly, I will say also, I don't know, I know you're not a fan of anger, but
Right.
I like anger sometimes.
You love anger?
Sometimes I do.
And why?
Because I find with the forgiving your enemy and loving your enemy doesn't feel realistic. It's not something I like to partake in. It makes me feel like a coward, and I'm not a coward. And so I find that with Christianity too, because I'm a catechumen in the Orthodox Church, and so and I was trying to be a Protestant, but the church's gay pride events, feminists, women up on the podium, like, what is this?
Amazing.
So-
So you love being angry.
I think there's a time and place for it, just like, especially with men, right? You know, men, what I love about men is that they're capable of violence, but when they know when to use it at the right time.
Oh.
You know, and so I think anger could be utilized for something good, especially when you see degeneracy in society. And it should be taken care of at some point, right? We're just kind of forgiving everybody, but it's not, it's just the infection is growing. It's not solving anything.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
I totally understand, but it's amazing.
I know.
So you feel like anger is a weakness.
I feel like it can
It's a
it can be utilized for something good. Forgiving is becoming a weakness.
Oh.
You know, and that's why.
I hear that from other people too.
Yeah, that's what I think is. So I don't have a problem with anger. It can be utilized for good. You know, I just
Really?
that's where I'm
And
at.
did you say you were an Allah or Abba woman at one time?
Absolutely not.
Oh.
Never, ever,
Oh, is it?
ever.
Oh, okay.
No, I was at one point against the Sharia law and all of that, but it's
Oh.
honestly, it's not my culture, not my problem. They can do their thing.
Yeah.
But the problem is also with the United States is when we try to go in the Middle East, what we do is we raise pride flags. That's what we do in the Middle East, and that's a way of showing democracy.
Amazing.
So I'm not even for none of that. So.
Okay, I want one person to respond to
Sure,
what you said,
of
and I want
course.
to come to you back to you. Real
Of course you
fast
can.
About the anger.
Yeah.
The young man in the white hat. What do you think about what she said about anger?
I would encourage her to drop it.
What?
I would encourage her to drop it
And why?
because I've seen what it did to my own life, and I 100% understand where she's coming from and agree actually with everything she's saying. But I kind of think of, you know, Darth Vader and how Darth Vader became to be, and Anakin used that anger, and he wanted to do good, and he saw that his own people, the Jedi, were, you know, trying to overthrow their own like civilization. And so I think anger, I like what you say about discernment. I think having discernment is different. Just because you take action doesn't mean that that's an anger thing, even though you're doing what's right. But that's as far as I can tell.
Have you overcome your anger?
I have.
You have no anger?
I do not know.
Amazing.
Or fear or worry.
Oh, okay.
It's been a blessing.
Right on.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you.
Let me ask. God said that anyone that has anger is a murderer.
Okay.
They're evil, and that you should not trust an angry person,
Okay.
and that we should love our enemies, love our neighbor, love our enemy. God is listening right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's having some punchy coffee right now. What do you say to God about that?
I think that God knows my heart. He knows my motivation, my intention. So we're just in a different time right now. It's such a different time, and things cannot be handled the same way as they once were. There has to be a greater response to what's going on in the world.
So you're saying to God, well, you know what? It ain't like it used to be, God.
But the thing is, he knows me better than anybody.
We're in a different time now. We're waving gay flags and all that.
Yeah.
And you just don't understand.
No, he knows.
We need this anger. Are you saying that to God?
Well, he created me, right? So he
Yes.
created me to have these different emotions. And I know Satan, you know, you say that. my daddy is Satan, right?
That's for sure.
Right? But God gave me a lot of the attributes that I have, and so I'm kind of just going. It's like a chess game.
Right.
Everything is by design, and I would say just as my responses to what's going on, it's by design.
So you think that God gave you the spirit of anger?
If we're born in the fallen state, I would imagine so. I would imagine we have that capability from the beginning.
So you believe God gave you the spirit of anger?
I would say so. I'd say that because we're not perfect. There's nothing perfect about me. And so I'm meant to be flawed and chaotic.
So you believe that God gave you the spirit of anger?
Yes.
And then why would he call you a murderer? He gonna give you the spirit of anger and say, oh, now you're a murderer.
Well, he knows I'm not actually a murderer. Maybe in my mind I would be.
He said you are a murderer and not to be trusted. You cannot trust an angry person.
Yeah.
And so why would God give you spirit, call you a murderer, and tell the world not to trust you?
But can you trust a coward?
What?
Can you trust a coward? Someone that's maybe not angry, but what doesn't respond to things.
But a coward is angry.
Is
That's
it?
why they're a coward.
Or is it more fear-based than anger?
Well, fear is anger.
I guess you're right. It's all in the same family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so why would God give you the spirit of anger and then call you a murderer?
I don't
playing
know.
a trick on you or something?
No, I mean, honestly, I don't know how to answer that. I'm not
Okay.
sure.
Is it possible that God did not give it to you?
It's possible.
Because
It is
and then on
possible.
the same thing, he said,
Yeah.
so why would God give you a spirit of anger, call you a murderer, tell the world not to trust you,
Yeah.
and then tell you to go and forgive? And then I'll forgive you. Why would he set you up like that?
I guess it would be ultimately, I guess that's the death of the ego, right? Is to just let go and detach from the anger.
Why would God give you a spirit of anger,
Mhm.
call you a murderer, tell no one to play with you, and then tell you to forgive? Why would God do that to you?
Why would God do that to me? I don't know.
So is it possible God did not give you a spirit of anger? He even said in the
Possible.
Bible, I didn't give you a spirit of anger.
It's definitely
Anger is not
possible.
from God.
Yeah. It's definitely possible. Yeah.
And so you want to hold on to that idea?
Well, it's not necessarily something I want to do, but I feel like based on the condition of society, I feel like I have no choice because, again, I'm thinking about myself, my future offspring, and what kind of world I want them to grow up in or to live in and to raise them in.
And where's
And
your
so-
future?
Not here yet.
And why you think about something that doesn't exist?
Because I'm a woman.
Good point.
Because I'm a woman. I relive the past. I think about the future. But I will say this, I'm more present than I've ever been. And I do relate to what she said about lack of self-esteem. Because, again, I've gone through that, but I've overcome a lot of that.
Yeah.
And
I want you to know, because of time here, that God did not give you the spirit of anger.
Okay.
Anger is pure evil. As a matter of fact, anyone that has anger, they're separated from God.
Okay.
You cannot begin to even know God until you can admit that you're wrong.
Right.
Anger is wrong. Anyone that has anger plays God. And though you're playing God, you can't know him. That's why you're changing your heart right away.
Yeah, no,
For
I
those who
understand.
want it.
Yeah, I understand that.
So what are you saying yes for?
That I
And
understand
you think anger is good.
No, I understand you. I understand what
Oh.
you're saying, not that.
You still thinking God gave it to you?
Maybe a little bit.
I
I'm
understand.
giving him credit for a lot of things
You
of my
you're
design
giving
and the
him
way I
credit
think.
for hell and heaven,
I know.
right?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Amazing.
That's amazing. I'll come back to you though. That's so interesting.
Okay, no problem.
Now do I see your hand? Yes, you do. Okay.
I used to also struggle with what she's saying about the anger, but I think this young man kind of answered it pretty well. Because he said that...
Which young man?
The one with the really good Star Wars analogy.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry?
The video guy.
Right. So he did say there's a difference between... You don't need the anger to do what's right. That's what he was saying. I think you got to let go of that because the discernment will be a lot more effective anyways. Anger always makes a mess.
Okay. Yes, Nick.
I wanted to add to the good enough conversation, but I don't know where you're trying to go now. May I?
Yeah, absolutely.
Totally relate. Yeah, like I'm the type of guy that gets the, always been unqualified in kind of anywhere I've been and just learn as I go. I get the job, I get the place. But along the way, because I know I got to look at others to kind of figure it out, I like obsess a little bit. And now I'm comparing, and now I'm not good enough. But I realize it's funny. I'm listening to the young lady talk, and she's talking about half-A-ing stuff. And it's funny, I realized that everybody, 99% of people are actually thinking that. The professionals, the skilled people, they're all thinking that. And if you just did the one thing that nobody wants to do, which is believe the lies, you'd be ahead of the rest of the world in a moment.
Amazing. Amazing. Jared, bring me some water. One of you guys. I want to go back to the young lady who don't feel you're good enough in the back. There is no such thing as being good enough. It doesn't exist. It's in your mind. It's not real.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that?
I get what you're saying, but
What?
Listening to her, I have a lot of anger inside of me.
Yeah.
I'm run by anger, and that's fear as well. So
And why don't you drop your anger?
that's what I've been. That's where the not good enough comes in, because this whole week I've been trying to stay present and and getting out of my thoughts and all this, and then and then out of something, there's like yesterday, I was at work and work was bad. Then I come home and then something triggers something, and then I'm just all my thoughts just rush in, and I'm like, I have no time to even be like, wait, hold on, I don't want to listen to them. So that's when I put myself down, because I'm like, I was doing so good. What happened? And I get angry because of that.
Oh, I see. And who are you putting down?
I want to say myself, but there is no self.
How do you know that?
Because that's thoughts. There's no me.
Right.
There,
Do you believe that? You see that?
I see that now, yeah.
Excuse me. I'm sorry?
I see that now, and I see that when I'm out of it, but when I'm in my thoughts, I don't,
So why don't you do what this young lady did at work? You just let the pain come and feel the pain, feel the fear, feel the doubt, the overwhelming feeling. Why don't you just let that happen so the false you can die, your ego can die? Because that's why the ego doesn't want to die, so it's having a fit. And all these things are coming up so you can overreact. And the more you overreact, you're giving it power. Why not let that die? By feeling the pain and doing nothing about it.
I'm gonna practice that this week. I'm actually gonna rewatch your silent prayer video, because I haven't been doing it. And
you haven't been doing the silent prayer?
No.
Oh, what a beta. That's why you love your misery. You're not working on yourself. Mm-hmm. How will you overcome it if you don't practice staying present? How will you overcome? It's a spiritual battle. You're dealing with evil. Yeah. How will you overcome it if you don't stay present?
I agree, yeah.
No, that was a question.
Oh, I'm not. I'm not gonna overcome it if I don't stay present. I'm not gonna overcome it if I stay in my thoughts. If I don't just let go, like you say,
It's interesting. I'm telling people what to do and how to overcome their hell, and I have to do the same thing. And I'm telling you, it does work, but you won't do it. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
You gotta practice staying present if you want to be free. Nobody or nothing else gonna change it, because it's spirit. It's in your mind. It's in your emotions, and all that stuff is evil. And only the light of God can take it away. And yet you won't do it. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, it is.
Are you expecting something else to happen? Are you expecting to overcome it in some other kind of way?
I'm not. I think that I'm expecting it to happen quickly and just happen fast.
But how it's going to happen fast and quick? You're not even going to the source that's going to save you from it.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Does your boyfriend yell at you when you're acting crazy?
No.
Oh, you sure? Like, no. He deal with it?
Yeah.
How does he handle it?
He just stays quiet and lets me go through it.
Right on. That's
He lets
right.
me go through it.
Let her suffer and die. Just let her suffer. But you got to do the silent prayer. Do you understand that you're not going to experience the kingdom of heaven on earth until you let go your false self? You got to do the silent. How many of them not doing the silent prayer every morning, every night, and during the day? You're not. You're not. Wow. Did you raise your hand? Oh, not. Why not? Especially you. Why not? And I say him because he's been working on himself. He know better now. Why not?
I just haven't habitualized it yet.
You have a what?
I haven't made it a habit. It's very spontaneous. It's not that I don't do it, but I need to. He was saying something about a muscle, and that makes sense, because you have to like force yourself to create a routine. Then you don't think about it anymore.
You have to force yourself to pray, to just practice being present.
I do.
And why?
Because obviously I don't have the discipline to do it. But if I start to create a routine, I more than likely will forget, and I'll just do it.
Don't even think of it as a routine. Just do it. It's a matter of life.
No, eventually that would be the ultimate goal, right?
What? What will?
To not even think about it and just do it. That would be the ultimate goal, but
It'll become
because
a
that's
way
not,
of life. You will get to a point where being present and not thinking will be normal. It'll be as normal as it is to be lost in the darkness of your mind. It's abnormal to be lost in your mind. God wants you to live a life of no thinking. No thinking at all. The only time you need to think is on practical things, what you're going to eat, blah, 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 right? But that's it. There's nothing else to think about. Nothing else. And when you do, you're in your head and you're one with evil. You're one with evil. But you can be free. You can be free. Yes, sir.
Well, I do it at night, I notice. And I think it's possible that because during the day I have a lot of things to do, a lot of interactions, I'm getting caught up in all that.
Right.
But at night I don't. So
Well, even during the day, I understand what you mean by you're busy, and yes, you forget why you're busy. But the moment you stop, you can become aware of yourself.
I need it,
Like,
yeah.
oh, I've been in my head. Let me be aware. I'm standing here right now. I'm talking to people. Just a little, that is all it takes.
Right on.
All right? Okay. Amazing. I want to ask, did you have a question, Raymond? Okay.
Okay. About worshiping your memories.
Are you a memory What's your prayer?
Yes, I am, in the worst way possible, because I found out when I pray, I'm addicted to my thoughts of anger, at times revenge. I've this is what I have to deal with, because in my entire life, I always felt that I was inferior to everyone around me in my family.
Yeah. Amazing. And so are you doing the silent prayer every morning, night, and during the day?
I do it every morning and every night. And if I have a chance, I do it sometime during the day, because I know that it's the only thing that keeps me separated from whatever dark thoughts I have.
Okay. Amazing. Amazing, Raymond. What? Are you doing the silent prayer every morning? Oh, okay. All right. Nice. Stay with it. Yeah. How's things with you? You got rid of your mama?
Yeah, I did.
How did that go? You think your mama's bad? He had the mama from hell.
Yeah.
How did that go on? How did it work out?
It's been going good. I blocked her, but I noticed that I'm having these thoughts come by to resent her again, and I've just been struggling with that a little bit. It's painful, but I just sit through it.
And why do you struggle? What are you struggling with?
The thoughts keep telling me, no, you have to go and forgive her again for the 100th time.
All thoughts are all lies all the time about anything. You don't have to go back anymore.
Yeah.
Just let them pass.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is, like 2 days after I divorced my mom.
Oh, that's what happened.
Yeah. You guys ever have that moment in life where like you finally get a breath of fresh air? You're like, all right, I'm gonna live life again. Let me look at myself. It's a new beginning. And then you get a call from that one person.
From your mama?
No, from my father.
Oh.
Yeah. And I just reflected a little bit on life, and I noticed that that was the person that always calls me whenever I'm getting ready to break loose. And he'll always need something or want something. And just 2 days after, with my mom, I had to let go of my father.
Right on.
And I wanted to ask you, is that okay to let go of your father? Yeah.
Let the whole world go. You should only love God with all your heart, soul, and mind, along with nothing else, and let the rest of the world go to hell.
Yeah.
This young lady, when she come back and tell her that, she think that there's something she can do about what's happening in the world. There's nothing she can do.
Right.
Zero. The world is hell coming through people.
Yeah, it was a tough
So
pill
let
to
him
swallow.
go.
Yeah, I realized like I can't trust even my father.
Right.
Because yeah, he loves his hell too. So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna live in that hell with him.
Right on.
So
No, let him go.
yeah, that's been my update really. Just letting go of both my parents and sitting through the pain of it,
Yeah.
the loneliness of it. Yeah.
Good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to let everything go. Your children, the cat, the dog. Anybody have animals in here? Oh, everybody. Huh? You got to let your animal go. It doesn't even make sense you love animals that way. I heard of people taking animals to the hospital. Who take an animal to a hospital? Oh, you do? Let him have the mic. Mr. You take your animal to the hospital?
I did.
He told you that long story about who?
Anakin.
Star Wars.
Star Wars. Would Star Wars ever take his dog to the hospital?
Anakin would
Huh?
probably.
What? To a doctor? I don't know what they're called. But don't even with a veterinarian, they're just making money off you. Really. Let that dog run outside and wallow in the grass and get his medicine. God put medicine in the earth for the animals. We had dogs, and we never let them, and they got sick and they would throw up, and then they go out and wallow in the ground in the yard and eat bugs and things, and they were fine. And we didn't spend one dime. And now they have you guys up in the hospital paying for a dog. What's wrong with you? You would never do that, right?
To take them to the vet?
Yes.
Of course. I've worked in the vet's office for a while, so.
Whoa.
Yeah. But you said God put plants in the ground. I thought you were against pot.
No. Well, I wouldn't think of the pot, but maybe some of the pot for the dog. But you're being played. They tell you, oh, this dog needs a surgery. And you spend buku money on a dog surgery. Does that make sense? That is crazy. Put that dog outside and let the dog run around and roll around in the grass and eat bugs and drink water outside. The dog can come back home feeling amazing. And you would have saved your money. What?
Cats have Facebook now.
Cats have Facebook. Anyway, because of time, that is so insane. I want to tell you this, and you was out while we were saying, you can't save the world.
I know.
The world is...
It's not up to me to save it, of course
right,
not.
but you shouldn't even have an opinion about it. At all, you should live in your world on this earth so you can have perfect peace and let everybody else live in their world and live in their hell.
Right,
It shouldn't affect you at all, but holding on to that anger and keeping you attached to the world.
That's a good point.
It makes you think there is something you can do, and there's nothing you do. When Christ came to the earth, he couldn't find 10 people that were holy.
Yeah.
And they said, okay, find one. And he was able to find one man, but no holy woman. All the women were screwed up.
Yeah, no.
Of
It's not up to women to change the world. I agree with
But
that.
my point is, nothing is new.
Yeah, it's all the same.
But Christ made it possible for us to be free right here on earth.
Yeah.
You can't save the world, so drop your anger so you can be free of it.
I wish there was something I could do. I wish I was the border czar.
You wish
That would be great.
But there's nothing you can do. Even the borders are only.
He's not even doing that good of a
The world's
job
still
right
going
now.
to be evil, though.
True.
It's the world human being because human beings are evil. The evil is coming through the person, the heart of
Yeah.
people. They are wicked.
Yes.
But that's why you must be born again by admitting that you're evil,
Mhm.
and then God will change your heart from evil to good, and then change your nature. You have an amazing life right here
Okay.
on earth.
Definitely.
But you're saying yes, but you think anger is good.
I understand where you're coming from, and I agree with your standpoint. I still do hold the standpoint that it comes to use at certain times. It
Anger
does.
never come for good.
I mean,
No
look at
good use
history.
for- your
Don't you
greatest
think
power-
in history that it came to good use to create beautiful societies and civil society? It wasn't just based on forgiving. It was about conquest and whatnot.
What do you mean? I don't understand.
Don't you think that good things are built with anger? Because you have, just like in conquest, historically, globally, that's how good societies are surviving, you know? It's not just based on, look at freedom and forgiveness. Look at our society now. Look at America now.
Well, that's because we don't have forgiveness in America.
We have too much forgiveness, I think.
No,
and
we have
that's why
none.
that's why we have
We have
so
no
many,
forgiveness in
we
America.
have the LGBTQ that's way too much. We
But I
have
promise
feminism.
you, if we had true forgiveness on this earth, you wouldn't have that happening. I counseled with a guy this week,
Mhm.
and when he was a little kid, he was girly like. He like playing with toys and stuff.
Yeah.
And then the adults start calling him, "Oh, you're like a girl. You're gay. You're this or this, right?" And so they told him that he was gay as a kid, and he started believing it. And when he went to high school, and he said he didn't want to be that way. He knew it wasn't, he didn't want it, right? But they said that's what you are. And so when he went to high school, he met other gay kids, and the teacher and everybody would tell him that with that, right? And so all his life, he'd been thinking that about himself.
Mhm.
He even did the thing where you change your body part.
Tranny?
Yeah, because he thought that's who he were. It had been confirmed by the world, and then he felt that way. He felt that way. But then he heard my message of forgiving his mother, and his father, and it made sense.
Mhm.
And he went and forgave, and that spirit of whatever he thought he was disappeared.
Mm.
And he's like, what am I supposed to do now? I got a woman body thing on me.
Yeah. He sounds like he
because
sexualized
he
his
didn't
trauma.
know, he didn't know it was just an anger and spirit in him.
Mhm.
And I've heard, and I'm telling you the truth, I heard so many stories like that over these years
Mhm.
from men and women around the world. They didn't know all thoughts were lies. They didn't know that the world was confirming evil and making them identify with evil, thinking that it was them because they thought and felt it.
Mhm.
They didn't know it was just a thought. And that's what's happening in the world. They can take all the Mexican back to Mexico or wherever. If human beings don't change, the world's still going to be evil. It's not going to change anything. Maybe we'll have less people, we'll make more money, but angry people are miserable. And they still would be miserable no matter how much money they have.
Right.
Even if you were the board of czar, if you were Donald Trump, vice president, and if you held on to that anger, you'd still be miserable.
Yeah.
You'd be just a miserable vice president. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Your soul needs, your heart needs a change to be born again. You must be born again. You
Mhm.
got to drop the anger.
And I
then
forgave
you
my
will
mother.
have true power.
Yeah.
Real power is in forgiveness, not in hating.
Mhm.
Weak people have anger.
I got to work on that.
Yeah.
It's a hard one to grasp. Really hard
Forgive
for
your
me to
mother.
grasp. I did.
You went to her?
I went to her. I
Do the
forgave
silent
her.
prayer then.
And I do the silent prayer once a day.
Every day?
Every day. My mom did apologize to me, and that was a big one for her because she has a very big ego.
Right.
And she could be very chaotic. So that was a big one. But it's kind of like with baptism, you think the world is going to change after, but it's kind of the same. It's just kind of like,
No, the world's not going to
it's
change.
not gonna change.
But I promise you,
Yeah.
you can have perfect peace right here in the world.
yeah.
You don't have to wait until you die. Everybody around you will be miserable,
Mhm.
but you will have perfect peace.
Yes.
All right?
Thank you.
Okay. I saw your hand right here. And then I had to go here.
I just wanted to touch on a quick point
Yes.
with what she was saying. She's got it kind of backwards. Anger is the weakness,
Yeah.
and forgiveness is the strength.
Yes.
And I totally understand why she thinks that way, like the warriors and the conquerors and all that. But the warrior that goes out there with no anger is always going to defeat
Absolutely.
the emotional, angry warrior. So the present one is always going to win. And I think that's where she's kind of confused. It's not the anger that makes the warrior. It's the being present and not angry.
100%. 100%. Really. Yes, ma'am.
So I had a really quick question about my situation last week. Even though I've handled it as neutral as possible and I've kind of taken myself out of it,
Yeah.
he's like asking me now, like if I'm okay. Like he just keeps asking me, like, are you okay? Are you okay? And I'm responding to him like, yeah, I'm fine. But I'm finding that before that whole shook up thing happened, and I'm not doing this in anger, which I don't believe so. My behavior with him has changed. Like, usually after class, he just want to hang around and just talk about nothing, just
Right.
talk. And now I'm like, I don't feel the need to stay. It just talk to talk about nothing.
Absolutely.
So that has changed now. Like all of that has changed. Even though I'm fine, I'm not angry with him. He keeps asking me if I'm okay. So should I like?
Next time he ask why are you asking me that? Because there's something going on in his mind. He know he has done something wrong. And now, and by you not reacting to it, it's on him, it's bothering him. So just ask, why are you asking me? You keep asking me if I'm okay or not. Why you ask? And let him respond and see what you see.
Okay.
All right? But no, you don't have to play with him. Be
Okay.
done with him. You have no obligation to hang around with no one if you don't want to.
But that's the thing. It's like that whole friend thing had me in like a chokehold because I'm
Yes.
like, in my mind, I'm like, well, I'm your friend. I'm supposed to sit here and have you talk about nothing, and I'm supposed to just sit here and like
No.
listen to you.
No such thing as a friend.
Yeah.
It's another made-up word.
Yes,
Amazing.
it is.
Nice. Okay, let me take here first, and then I come. Yes.
For this year's assignment regarding staying present, I'm
yeah, the theme for the year.
the theme. Yeah, sorry. As I'm being present, I'm noticing that I have no control over anything, absolutely nothing. And
Right
as I'm
on.
sitting in this room right now, I can hear my thoughts judge every single person in here. And I hear them, and I wonder who's telling me that. A while back, you gave us an assignment saying manage your self-talk.
Don't judge with thoughts. I know you guys are doing that, right? Everybody working on that, right? You working on that, Colin? Huh? I can hear you.
Yes.
Don't judge with thought, eyes, words, little gestures, or anything. You've been doing that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you're telling me not to do it. I'm doing it, but I'm aware of it because I can't control it. I have absolutely no control as the thoughts are coming. It really becoming present and if am I a memory worshiper?
Yeah.
I notice that it's just a flurry of thoughts, a bunch of emotions that are coming in and that are overpowering everything within my being.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no way that I can control it. So as you're saying the world is going to end, she wants to change the world, everybody has thoughts, like no one cares about anything because everybody
Right.
cares about themselves.
Every human being care about themselves. They don't care about you at all.
And if I want to help you,
Zero.
and if I want to help you, I actually want to make myself feel good about helping you.
Yes.
I don't really care about you. And
So if
other
you
people
helped
don't care
me
about
and
me.
I didn't appreciate it, oh God. Oh Lord, it'll be a mess.
It's like when you hold the door open, you don't get a thank you. You want to slam the door in their face.
Yeah.
It's true.
Absolutely.
So I just, and the next thing I'll say is I feel like ever since the fall, human species has been doomed since the fall, since the first bite of the apple. We've been absolutely screwed.
Yeah.
And I feel like ever since Jesus came, he died, he said, like you say, it's so simple. Forgive, let go, hold no anger, trust no thoughts, and be present. That's it.
That's all it takes.
It's simple.
Yeah.
But we don't want that. Human nature, we want that curiosity.
You want your hell.
We enjoy it. It feels so good because since we're little, especially now in this day and age with technology, it's always been around, but technology makes it so much easier to consume this shot of dopamine, to feel good, to want more. Like I was watching a movie with my kid. We were watching Friday, and and in the movie, it was moving very slow. And my son was like, why is it moving so slow? And I can feel him wanting things to be fast
Yeah.
because of how the programming is becoming. It's all by design. It's all created by the devil. And if you're not aware of it, it's going to just take you
gotta
down.
be aware.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing. Interesting. The young man in front of you, because of time here. Are you a sinner?
No,
And why do you say no?
because I don't have any anger or any emotions towards anything.
And
To anyone, I should say.
so why do you act like you are a sinner?
I believe it might just come off like that.
I'm sorry?
It might just come off like that.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I mean, I don't believe I am a sinner. I believe I have sinned, but I don't believe I am currently a sinner.
Are you free?
Yes.
So you're doing fine?
Yes.
You're doing fine?
Yes.
You're doing fine.
Yes. If we're talking financially, I don't know about that, but
I didn't say what.
I mean, I'm able to pay for stuff. I mean, but
So what?
financially, I know I'm pretty low on money, but everything else, I'm doing well. I'm
You
able
have
to-
an amazing life?
I believe so. I wouldn't say amazing. I mean, I just content to the point where, like, I mean, I'm not affected by a lot of things, but definitely, I wouldn't say I'm perfect peace though. I wouldn't say I have perfect peace. I wouldn't say that.
And why don't you have perfect peace?
Because I still have these thoughts that come, and it's crazy because it was easy in the beginning, but now the thoughts are getting harder. Where it's like they're trying to like sit in my mind, and so I'm just having to do the silent prayer longer, or more often, a lot, because they kind of like sit in my mind, and I get rid of them, but they're sitting there, and they come back every now and then, and it's like, and it's like memories, like what you're talking about. I wouldn't say I worship the memories, but dang, they keep popping up.
And so are you doing fine?
Yes, I'm doing fine.
All is well?
No. No. I'm doing fine, but all is not well.
And why all is not well?
Just still a lot of people. I haven't got to the point in life where I can truly be alone. Still people in my life that affect me, and I let them affect me, and so yeah, that's just my only issue. But when I'm alone, like everything's good. When I'm at my work or just focusing on that, like everything's fine. But there's other variables, people in my life and stuff.
So are you doing fine?
Let's just say no. Okay, let's just say no.
And
Yeah, no, not let's just say, it's no.
And why do you just say that in the beginning when I first asked?
Because I wanted to break it down in my own mind, I guess, and then I figure it out what you're meaning, and I think I get where you're coming from. Yeah.
I'm sorry?
I'm not doing very fine, I would say.
And why not?
People, just holding like thoughts, just and memories. Memories is a big thing. Yeah. Yeah, memories. But I don't worship the memories. See, that's what I don't get about the biblical question, because I don't worship them. I'm actually trying to I'm correcting it and getting it out of my mind, but it keeps popping up.
Whose fault is it that you're not doing fine?
I don't know. I don't know whose fault it is.
You don't know whose fault it is?
I mean, I could say it's me, but like I feel like I'm controlling it though, like not controlling it, but not letting the thoughts and memories like take control over me. But the thing is that it's just repetitive, and it just keeps happening and happening. So I'm just constantly.
Whose fault is it that you're not doing fine? Is it the people around you, or someone else, or you?
It's something that's creating these memories and thoughts. I can't control.
And I'm not just talking about memories and thoughts. Whose fault is it that you're not having an amazing life right now?
It's my fault.
And why do you let other people do that to you?
Because I can't avoid them.
What?
Because I can't avoid them.
Why can't you?
I know, physically I can't.
What do you mean?
I just need to get, to be on my own. I'm not on my own right now.
Why don't you just go on your own? All you have to do is do it.
I know.
Why not do it?
I know.
What?
Yeah, I'm going to. I will. I mean,
Why not just do it, and why haven't you done it? Because of time.
I guess I'm just waiting.
Waiting on what?
Waiting on a better moment, better time too.
The better moment is now.
Now, yeah.
The better moment was
coming.
yesterday. We had the moment.
Yeah.
What moment are you waiting on?
I don't know. Things just don't feel right, and I can't put my finger on it.
So what now?
Things just don't feel right, and I can't put my finger on it. But when I'm alone, everything feels right. But then I go out there in the world or interact and stuff, and then everything just seems like, I see all these, like, why am I feeling this way? Why do I have these issues and stuff? It's just like, I don't though when I'm alone, whenever I'm just focused on myself and everything like that.
So why don't you stay alone and work on you?
I know. Yeah, I should.
That was a question.
That was a question, yeah, I know. I just, I haven't just made the decision. I haven't just put my foot out the door and did it. That's pretty much it.
How old are you now?
I just turned 29.
How old are you right now?
I just turned 29.
This morning?
January 17th.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So in closing, at what point will you take care of you? Will you stop blaming? Will you stop having excuses? What point was it going to take for you to do that?
Get away, be on my own, go on my own. I know I could. See, do I know I could do it? Like, I don't know. It's just like kind of like it's a big step, and then I just go and then.
You're 29. It's a big step to go on your own. What?
Well, you know, I've lived with people. I've done stuff in the past, and like I did have a lot. I thought I did. I thought everything was going well, and just getting essed over, and just like, and it kind of just demoralized me. And then now I'm building myself back up, and then like.
But you're not building yourself back up.
I don't know.
You're doing the same thing over and worse.
Probably. You're probably right. You're probably
Am I right? I could be wrong. Am I right or wrong?
You're right. You're right. I mean, I wouldn't say doing worse, but definitely not doing better. I mean, I would say it like that.
You love your misery?
No.
You love for people to give you misery?
I know. No, I do not.
Then why don't you stop?
I know. Well, it's kind of hard to avoid these people, but yeah.
There's not one person in the world that's hard to avoid. You just want to be around them.
It's not for long, though. I
What?
want to be around people. I want to have people to be around, like
Why?
family and stuff, but not like for long. Like, I like being alone and handling my.
No, you don't. Because if you like being alone, you'll be alone.
I think maybe I do kind of sulk in my misery, maybe. I don't know.
You love your misery.
Making me sweat, Jesse. Should have wore this jacket. But yeah, I see where you're coming from. You're helping me analyze exactly what. But it's mainly I just have to go out the door and live on my own, and it's a little worrisome. I kind of want to have like a friend to go with, or
No such thing as a friend.
a brother.
You got to
something.
travel this road alone.
No.
You can't travel this. This is one path that you got to travel alone. You can't take your friends. You can't take your daddy, your mama, your children, no, your brother, or anyone. You got to travel this by yourself.
Mm-hmm. What if I die?
What?
What if I die going out there?
You already dead. You may get life if you start working on yourself. You may live because you're already dead.
I do see that, like, there's not. I mean, I can get interested into like people and all that stuff, but I don't.
Forget
really,
about people, man.
But there's so like how do you just like? They did stuff to me in my past and like screwed me over, and like sorry I keep saying it, but like,
where's your past?
It's gone now.
So why are you thinking about that?
Because it was a big, huge step back. Maybe.
What?
It was a big, huge step back.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, it felt like it.
The setback is in your mind. You believe in a lie.
Mm-hmm.
You can go out there right now and have a life. Let all those people go, forget about the past, stop feeling sorry for yourself, and work on you. That's the only way it's going to change.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't want to change, you want to stay in your hell, that's a different story. And it sounds like you love your hell because you're unwilling to let the people go or anything. Either you're going to love God or you're going to love the people.
Yeah.
What's your choice?
Yeah, no, of course, I love God, and I choose
No,
God.
you don't. You don't love God.
I
You
believe
love the
so.
people right now.
Well, the people are just I guess, yeah, you know, I know I love God only.
No, you don't love God.
Well, I know I don't have anger.
Yes, you do.
I don't hate.
Then why don't you let go of the world?
I do.
No, you don't.
There's so many people that judge, though. I don't judge.
What does that have to do with you?
Like,
no, what does other people judging have to do with you?
Yeah.
You got to be responsible for you, man. You're only responsible for you and no one else. So why don't you stop judging?
I know, but people can inflict stuff on your life.
Not if you don't allow it. They're only doing it because you invite it.
Yeah. So so I have to get away from the people. I know. That's what I'm. Yeah, I know that. I know that.
What do you got to say to your brother?
you can try to get away from people, but we live on a planet with I don't know how many billion people. It's not going to work that way. You're going to have to go inside of yourself. And I think what I took from Jesse is you can't take people to travel inside of your own self and search your soul to see if you really want to connect with God. That's something you have to do on solo.
You got to go by yourself.
And you got to really be willing to get rid of the past affecting you 100%, not 99%, not 99.999%. It has to be 100%. Let go of the past. If that's what's holding you back, that should be. When you do let go of it, you'll see how simple it really was just to let go.
It doesn't even exist.
It doesn't.
It's in your mind. It's not even real.
It isn't.
What happened then, it happened then, and when then was over, it was over.
I see why he got up from the chair and went over there now.
So what?
I said I see why my brother got up from the chair and left.
Why?
And went over there and came back. So
Why?
he wouldn't get the mic first.
Amazing. But we'll talk some more.
But I do love my brother. I want to say that too as well. And
You love him?
I love him, and I forgive him no matter what he does, even if he did something right now. So that normally, in the past, if I really want to look at the past, I use it as a measure of where I'm at now. And right now, I would say that I'm a lot better off than I was in the past because I would let things affect me that people say, and I would try to fight it.
Yeah.
But now I let go of it and let God handle it because that's not my issue to have to deal with anymore.
Give people the finger. Let me go to hate real fast because of time. I got a wine. Amazing. Can't you give people the finger? Yeah. Yes.
Somebody in the chat asked, guys, what does Jesse mean by watching the thoughts? I always see mine. Do I have to watch them more intensely, like make strong effort?
What you got to do is the light of God, once he bring you out of here, your imagination, the light going to shine on the thought. And thoughts are depression, suicidal, loneliness, trying to make yourself live up to something, thinking that you're this or that, or those are the thoughts that I'm talking about, right? All you got to do now is be aware of that. When they talk to you and tell you, oh, you're not good enough, you don't have enough money, or you this or that, you let it pass. Just watch it like you're watching a movie, and don't do anything about it. Don't try to run away from it or anything, and let God save you from it. The light of God will save you from that old nature, and you will have it no more. And you do that going down to whatever comes, just watch it. And don't put any effort at all. You got to surrender to God all of your troubles. I beseech you, brother, to surrender your body as a living sacrifice unto God. Meaning that all your garbage, your bad nature, you have to let that be. Don't call it you, and the Father will take it away from you and give you a brand new nature. He will give you his nature. I promise you it'll happen. It's so amazing, but you got to work on yourself. You got to stay with it. And when you watch it, don't have an opinion about it. Don't call it good or bad or evil or anything. All right? And you'll be fine. Practice watching that. Amazing. Yes, hey. That's it. The young lady, are you a sinner? The little Christian in the back, yeah.
Little Christian.
Yes.
You are a sinner. And why do you say you are a sinner?
Because, I've made mistakes in my life.
And you call your mistakes a sinner?
Mm-hmm.
And are you a sinner? Oh, take the mic from me.
I would say I'm nothing. So it's Satan through me working and me obeying.
So are you a sinner?
No.
Nice. Give me back to the sinner.
I changed my answer to no.
Christ says that, is this your first time here?
No, I came last week.
Oh, you been, okay. Is this your first time? Oh, this your first time? No, what are you hiding? What's your name? Hold on to the mic for me. I'm coming back to you, you little sinner. What's your first name and how did you hear about us?
Andre.
Any question?
No questions. Yeah, I'm just sitting and came with my friend. Yeah.
Oh, you came with your friend. Anything you disagree with that you've heard?
Most of it in one way or another, but it depends how you look at it.
You disagree with most of it?
There's a way of looking at it where I agree completely. Yeah, it's a quick.
Can you give me one thing you disagree with?
One thing I disagree with. It's not about like whether I disagree. It's like how I look at it. It's like a little different in some ways. You talk about God like he's separate from you or other people, or like
I do.
Like we need his approval. Yeah, I don't see it that way.
I talk about God like he's separate from us.
Yeah.
And we need his approval.
Yeah.
And you disagree with that?
Yeah.
And why?
I just see it differently.
How do you see it?
I think everyone is God.
That everyone is God?
Yeah.
Are you God?
I guess, yeah. I think there's one intelligence only. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And are you God?
I guess, yeah. As
You're
much
not
as
sure?
you are.
You're not. You think you God? You say you think everyone is God. And I'm black and I'm slow, so I'm trying to learn right now. Are you God? Or a God?
Yes, I'm a piece of God. That's how I see it.
Meaning what?
Meaning there's one intelligence and everyone's a part of it, basically. That's my look on
okay.
it. Yeah.
And have you overcome your anger?
It depends how you define it. I still feel anger sometimes, yeah. And it's
Have
not-
you overcome your anger?
Not entirely.
Not entirely. Why would God be angry?
I think when you create something, you get emotionally invested in it, you know? And sometimes it disappoints you and you drown everyone in a violent flood. And sometimes, you know, you're more mellow, I guess. I don't know. That's my best guess. I don't know. I'll
Right.
ask him.
I understand. And so what did you create?
Video games mostly.
You created it, and so that made you God?
Within that little fiefdom, yeah. Yeah.
And then God get mad when his video game doesn't work right, in the right way?
Yeah.
Oh, beta God.
Well, I think his game is always working, right? And then the players inside of it don't see it that way, you know? It's like he made traffic rules,
Right.
and then the people that don't operate within those traffic rules, you know, it doesn't go so well. And that would
Amazing.
be frustrating to me if I was God. But yeah, I don't know whether he gets angry or not. Yeah,
Right. But you're God. You get angry,
I guess. Yeah.
right? What would happen, because of time, man, what would happen if you didn't get angry? If you never got angry again, you got rid of it, what would happen to you?
If everything else stayed the same and I got rid of my anger, my life would improve objectively.
It would?
I think so. Yeah.
So why not let it go? God.
I tried to.
You try to let it go? But why are you trying to let it go if you think it's okay to have it?
Well, I didn't say it's okay to have it.
What'd you say about it?
I said my life would be better without it.
So why don't you let it go?
I should.
Why don't you? And why haven't you?
I guess right now I don't feel any of it. In this moment, I have let it go.
No. Someone can say something to me right now, you go, oh.
Probably, yeah.
So you haven't let it go, it's still in you.
Yeah, I think it's tied to ego or something. It's like as long
What?
as you have some sense of identity, you're going to get angry sometimes.
So are you an ego God?
No.
But you said it was ego.
Yeah, I think anger's tied to it, yeah.
So why don't you let it go, God?
No, it's hard. I tried to.
But you're God.
True.
All you have to do is forgive and it'll leave. Once you
Forgive and it'll leave.
Yeah, when you see you're wrong for being angry, it'll go. Do you think you're right to be angry or you're wrong to be angry?
Wrong.
So have you apologized to your mother? You forgiven your mother?
Yeah, I tried to.
You tried to or you did?
I thought I did, yeah. But
And
then,
did you?
then I'm still angry sometimes. So maybe
You went to her?
Yeah.
And what'd you say?
I told her I'm very grateful that she's my mom.
That's not forgiveness. You went and told Satan, I'm glad you're my mama. You didn't forgive the devil. Why do you apologize for resenting her for what she's done to you? She's remade you her image.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I'll try that.
Yeah, hey mother, I'm sorry for resenting you. You remade, because exactly what you're feeling and thinking is what you feel. You became like your mother. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
And forgive your father. Have you gone to your father?
No.
Forgive your father for not protecting you from her. He didn't know how to handle her. He loved you, he just didn't know how to handle your mother. And you should go and forgive him.
Okay.
Are you close to him?
No, I never met him.
You never met your father? Are you white?
Yeah.
White people don't meet their daddies either? That's a black thing. What the? Why haven't you met your father?
They got divorced when I was pretty young. I was like 6 months old. And then my mom remarried later.
So why did you go find him as an adult?
No, I just never knew him. I never felt much beyond curiosity, I guess.
If you could find him, you would? I mean, are you able to find him if you wanted to?
Probably. I could do anything if I wanted to.
I would do what you want, but I recommend you find him.
Okay.
And ask why did he leave you? Hear his side of the story so you can forgive him.
Okay.
All right? Amazing, huh? Now, you still disagree?
On the separation of God and man.
But who
Yeah.
said God and man was separated?
People who talk about him like a separate person.
But I didn't say that.
You did.
I said anger separates you from God. Anyone that has anger is separated from God. That's why they're living in the darkness of their imagination.
I think animals get angry. Are they separate from God?
Animals can't be separated because they live on instinct.
Isn't
But
anger
human
an
being-
instinct?
But human being that has anger become an animal. They drop down to the level of an animal. That's why they act like animals. And they think the animals love them because they're loving the animal with animal love. And they think the animal love them, the animal can care 2 cents about them. They're thinking that the animal love them because they're animals. They're in an animal nature. That make sense? But that animal don't leave, because you could feed that animal and somebody else walk by and offer the animal some food, say, come with me, the animal's gone.
There's no loyal dogs.
What?
There's some animals that are loyal.
No. Those that you have trained to be. And they'll turn on you if you took them off. But because of time, let me talk to the sinner real fast. So you believe that you're a sinner.
I plead the fifth there.
So what?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I have sinned. I've made mistakes. At times, I express fear instead of faith. I express anger instead of peace.
So you believe that you're a sinner.
Those are sins, and I have done them, so then that would conclude I'm a sinner.
Amazing. And so, which is easier for you to believe? You're a sinner or all your sins been wiped away?
They've been wiped away.
So then why do you believe you're a sinner?
Well, because I repeat mistakes.
Why do you believe you're a sinner if you know that they've been wiped away? They've been forgiven.
Okay, I'll go with that. That sounds better.
No, that was
That
a
feels
question.
better. It's a question. I'm not a sinner. They've been wiped away.
Now you're just saying that.
No.
What no?
I'm changing my mind. That's a woman's prerogative.
Whoa. When she's crying, she's lying. I want you to know you're not a sinner.
Okay.
The only thing that needs to change in us is our hearts. We need to forgive so that God will forgive you and draw you into the kingdom of heaven within. And once He draw you in, He's going to change your nature. You have Satan's nature. That's why you can't do the right thing, right? What you think is right. But you're not a sinner. All of your sins have been forgiven, wiped away, and you have never done anything wrong in your whole life. It's impossible for you to sin. What do you think about that?
I think that's the most beautiful thing I've ever heard.
And it's true. God doesn't see you as a sinner. God doesn't accuse you of sinning. God loves you. He's trying to draw you back to the Father by telling you to go and forgive so I can forgive you and draw you in, and He'll take care of you. He won't let you enter the kingdom with the anger because anger is evil. It's of your father, the devil. But you got to admit that you're evil, and it's not you that's evil, but it's the spirit of evil in your heart. It's not you. It made a home in you when your mother turned you away from your father, and you became like her. Forgive your mother, and God will forgive you, and everything will change. You will see you're not a sinner. You're not a sinner nor a saint. You're not rich nor poor. You're not, there's nothing to live up or not live up to. There's nothing to compare yourself to. There's nothing to be but be without any identity. And I promise all of you that. I don't care what has happened in your past, it was in the past. It's not now and it's not real. And it was never you, even then. I want you to know that all of you, there's no you. There's no one there to feel guilty. That's a farce, that's an illusion. There's no you to feel guilty about anything. I promise you there's no you at all. But what will happen if you stay present, and I encourage you to stay present, you're going to see all of your illusions will disappear. They will be taken away from you. And I want to say this thing about being a God, but I won't because it'll confuse you. It will confuse you, but you'll learn about that as you overcome the imagination. But I promise you, you're none of the things that you think you are. Not at all. God doesn't see you as a sinner. And the only thing you're doing with this anger, you're playing God. You think you know right from wrong, so you judge yourself and other people. As long as you're playing God, you're never going to know God because you think you are God. And so you're judging. That's why I told you to practice, stop judging. You don't have a right to judge at all, and you never will know God. Because if you understand yourself and what's driving you, it's going to cause you to understand all human beings. All human beings. And then you will be able to help others because you won't be judging. You'll be of the light, and you will have understanding. And you won't be preaching to people either, but you will be able to help. I never imagine I'll be talking to lesbians and homosexuals and drug addicts and husband and wife who hate one another and kids who hate their parents and people who think that they compare themselves to other people. And I never thought I'd be talking to them and find out that everybody has the same problem. It's up here. Every human being has the same problem. This poor guy, he was like, what am I going to do now? I realized it wasn't me. I was never those things. But I was told that I was those things, and he believed it. Now he's waking up. I just have to go back over to some hospital and find some, or maybe a funeral home and find a dead body part and put that thing back on. I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. What you gonna do now, buddy? That's why I want to encourage you. Hold on to your body parts. You may wake up. You're neither gay nor lesbian. You're neither rich nor poor. You're neither sinner nor saint. You're neither a Christian, a non-Christian. You're neither black nor white. You're none of those. You're not a drug addict or alcoholic. It's in your mind. The devil's lying to you. You're neither weak nor strong. It's in your mind. And when the heart changes, the nature will change, but you'll let God change the nature. And so when the heart changes, you're going to be good. Then you will be good because it will be the nature of God in you. Just as Christ had the nature of God. Christ wasn't God, but he had God's nature, and so will you. And once you have his nature, he's going to change your false nature, that old nature that doesn't want to let go. He'll take that away from you and give you his nature, and then you'll be good, then you'll do good. You can't do good with your old nature. There's no good in it. But it will change. I'm telling you, it will change. And I don't care what you've done in life, how low life you've been. I don't care what you've done. All your sins have been wiped away, and so will your past. Because it just is. So if you think you're a low life out there, you rob, murder, whatever you've done, forget about it. Forgive, you'll be free. It'll be wiped away. I promise you that. And you'll have paradise right here on earth. Let everybody else go to hell. You're not responsible for anyone else. Only your little children, once they become adult, you're not responsible for them anymore either. Leave them in hell. Because most people love their hell. They love their misery, and they roam the earth to try to see who they can destroy as well. They want to make you miserable so they can feel like life is a false life, but they get life from making you unhappy. That's why husband and wife beat one another in the morning. They need to feel something. So they beat one another, and they feel good. But it's a false good. It's death, not life. You could be free, but you got to work on you. I have to work on me, and I still do. Everybody. Everyone has to be born again if you want to be free. All right? Last word. I saw your hand, right?
I'll ask you another time.
Okay. All right. Last word. Okay, good. I'm out of time. Listen, folks, you're free. It's only up here. You don't have to be lonely. That's false. You don't have to be suicidal. That's false. You don't have to be anything. Drop all your morals and values that you've never been able to live up to, and you never will. Then you can live. All right? Do the silent prayer, rebuildingtheman.com/prayer. All that little hooping and hollering you're doing, you're praying to the devil. Oh, Lord, please help me. Save my mama. Save the world. Have mercy, Lord. Why, George? I'm out of time. Donate to the organization. We need your support. All right, we got a lot of work to do. Get your punchy coffee. Barry, can you imagine I have my own coffee? Did you ever, man? Barry been knowing me all my life. I have my own coffee. Are you jealous?
I am. I want some, though, some free coffee.
What? No, white people have to pay. Now, if that black person said they want some free coffee, that's a different story. But anyway, get your coffee, your punching coffee. It's good. And we're having a men's forum this Thursday night. This is the first Thursday of the month at 7 p.m. You're all invited. Bye. Thank you all so much. Amazing.